Hello everyone, my name is Marcello Kolax and I am the Managing Director at Clever Markets, and you are watching the European Energy Outlook for the week starting 15th of April 2024. I want to start with something exciting. The current Clever Markets Technical Analysis Academy is coming to an end, and I would like to invite all of you to join me for the May Academy. If you want to learn more, you can go to clevermarkets.com or you can contact me directly on LinkedIn or WhatsApp. Just send me a DM and we can see if this is the right step for you. So I am very proud to say that this is the industry's only Technical Analysis Academy that is specifically designed for energy traders. So traditional concepts and technical analysis have been updated to be suitable for energy traders. It is a 5-week course. It is very much hands-on. You do get your quizzes and assignments, and most of all, you do get a weekly one-on-one with me to implement everything that you have learned throughout that week to implement it. So it is always Monday, Tuesdays lectures, then you do have your assignments and quizzes, and then later in that week we apply what you have learned earlier in the lectures in our one-on-one sessions. The course is specifically designed for busy traders, so don't feel that you will be overwhelmed. I promise you the past cohorts have not been. It does fit around a trader's or analyst's schedule, and to be honest, I'll make it fit. We are flexible. We are trying to do this bespoke, so don't worry, it will be all fine. So yeah, contact me, send me a DM. The application deadline is at the end of April, so do let me know. Only a few weeks left and a few seats. Thank you very much, and now we start with the TTF front month. Okay, so that was quite an exciting week, wasn't it? So we start with the weekly chart here, and we can see that we did close above the 23.6% FIB retracement, and you might have heard say earlier that it actually, up until here, it really did look as if the market has topped out. And that was really interesting because we didn't get any bearish confirmation yet. So over the past couple of weeks, I said, for now, the market seems to have reached the target at the 23.6% FIB, and we are slowly topping out, but there is still a good chance of the market pushing higher, which was especially visible on the daily chart. And well, that all happened now. So here's the thing, we only marginally closed above the 23.6% FIB, but the tools are reasonably bullish. However, can you see we did not yet get a full bullish signal on the MACD, and also not yet a full bullish signal on the old EMAs. So these are maybe about to close higher, but here's the thing, never forecast the forecasting tools, right? So we have to kind of wait it out if it is best traded on the daily chart anyway. But the move above the 23.6% FIB at 30.29 now means that the market could be heading for the 38.2% FIB. That's a shallow correction, 35.22, that's shallow. And the deep corrections can go all the way to like 39.21 or 43.19. So it is getting higher and higher. So we can keep an eye on that, and do keep an eye out on the trend and momentum tools. But as we know, we analyze top down, but the markets move bottom up, right? So let's have a look what the daily chart is doing. So here, we do have the flow of higher highs and higher lows. That is undisputed within this channel. I was even thinking of maybe moving the channel boundaries, maybe adjusting them to do this. Let me see. Then we would get something like this here. So this might fit a little bit better. So that's why the channel borders have been slightly adjusted, simply to make more levels fit. So, however, we could be now pushing higher towards the channel resistance, wherever that might be, right? Could be anywhere in the 31s and the 32s, somewhere around here. And after this, we should possibly retrace a little bit lower, but ultimately the idea is still that the market will move higher. Why is that? Because the MACD is showing strong bullishness. We do get rising volume on the green candles. We see that the trend tools are bullish, and we see that the oscillator is pushing higher as well. By the way, don't be scared of this overbought level on the stochastic here. It simply means if an oscillator moves into overbought territory that we are making new highs. So that is completely normal and expected, okay? So ultimately, maybe a little bit higher, but we should be prepared for a little bit of a correction lower. So how low can we go? That will first be seen on the intraday chart. So here we're working with this ascending channel that's going back to the start of April essentially. And it has held fairly nicely. The only thing is we did extend over it. So we are already rising and we moved even higher. So this is usually not sustainable. So I would not be surprised if we trace lower a little bit. You can also see here we did get a bearish signal on the stochastic, right? Moving into the level is not the signal, but moving out of it. So around here we did get a bearish signal. We can also see that, there you go, that the MACD, so the momentum tool, is not making new highs anymore. So I feel like we have topped out. So this year, this trough is the first, what is this? 30.05 is the first area of support, which also coincides with the channel border. I feel we could break very easily past that. And then the first area of real support is this tentative trend line here. But we can connect any 2 points on a flat piece of paper, right? So 2 points makes it a tentative trend line. It will be only confirmed if we actually bounce and then push higher. But what I think is more likely is that we push partially below that and then we find support at 28.9 or maybe even 28.44 and all the way down to here the high 27s, maybe 20, 28, that sort of area. And even with this correction lower, we are still bullish within the intraday uptrend. It doesn't mean you can't go short, yeah. So of course, this here is still an option for a short trade. And the good thing is we have a lot of support areas that always give us the next waypoint if they are broken. So we get confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. But as we approach these levels, please keep an eye out on the stochastic pushing higher, yeah, maybe at some point, or maybe a bullish reversal candle pattern. But overall, I believe we could make it towards this area down here. And can you see the high 28th level? The high 27th level is coming up. Where is it? Yeah, somewhere here, right? So that's why I think in this area, we might get some sort of support on the daily chart. What we could do, since we are, by the way, I'm not drawing in FIB retracements right now. We could do always this here, yeah. Trying to see how low we can retrace, and you can see 27.4, it kind of does coincide, but I'm not really convinced that this here really is the peak. So that's why I'm not drawing in the FIBs. But if we get a bearish candle on Monday, yeah, and this really is the peak, then I will definitely draw in the FIBs here. So I would assume maybe a little bit of a correction this morning, and then possibly, moving higher thereafter. Where is it? No, I can't grab the trend line. There you go. And then possibly moving higher. But it is unclear how low we can go. For that, we really have to take it one step at a time on the intraday chart. All right, that is all for the TTF front month. And don't forget to sign up for the May Clever Markets Technical Analysis Academy. Oh, that was quite a week for EUAs. Okay, let's make sense of that. On the weekly chart, we are bullish and you can see that 2 weeks ago we were here. It looks like we are topping out. We did have this doji. We did have this hanging man all below the 38.2% FIB. But back then, I did say that it seems likely, especially on the daily chart, that we could continue higher. And usually the extensive correction go to the 61.8% FIB. but you can see we even broke above that level. So what does that mean for us now? Well, it means that, first of all, this steeper trend line here is now important. So that's somewhere in the 73 area, depending on where we hit it. If we break above this, which seems very likely considering that tools are bullish, volume is high, the MACD will take some time. We just get a crossover on the 8 and 12 exponential moving average. We could wake it all the way to 81.25, and then of course right here near 85 we do have this trend line. So I think the chances haven't been this good since the entire down legs for a year. Oh my god, it's been a year now. The chances of some gains haven't been this good as they have been in a year. But as you know, we get earlier signals usually on the lower level charts. So let's have a look what the daily chart is doing. So the last 2 days, like Thursday and Friday, we did push above the channel. I did adjust the channel a little bit. So last week it was still here, and now I just adjusted it here because it does fit much nicer with these peaks now. So you can see we had 2 closes above it, which means the uptrend is accelerated. Everything is bullish, there's no question about it. So I think that we could make it to 75 fairly easily. If we put, it's just a psychologically important level, that's all. There's nothing really stopping us here. The most important peak essentially is at 81.25, and even this year 7829 is just a little stopover, a little waypoint. But overall I think like this is the big one. What we could also do is we can simply put a big fib here, and you can see we are even above this fib now. So I'm not even putting it on because we are past this already. So I feel we could make it all the way higher. So now, however, this uptrend acceleration is usually like unsustainable, even though the volume was really high. I think what would be normal at some point for the market to correct lower. But as long as we remain within the ascending channel, we are still bullish. So can you see, essentially what we can do is we can go all the way from 72, we could drop all the way to like 60, somewhere here. Yeah, so a 10 euro drop would still mean that we are near-term bullish. That is crazy, right? Because we just have to continue making higher highs and higher lows. So even with an extensive correction, the bulls are still in place. On the intraday chart, I find this here very helpful. So we did accelerate the trend a little bit. You can see I'm connecting these 2 points down here. This here is a good enough hit, I want to say. And this bit here could be identified as a wonky ascending triangle. And ascending triangles are usually resolved to the upside. It is looking good, bullishness here, yeah, but from experience, I want to say that probably we will not break higher immediately because the momentum still isn't there. So the trend is there, absolutely, but the momentum may take its time. So I feel we could push sideways, maybe even dip a little bit lower. There's not much evidence for the market to dip lower. Yeah? This is just of vibes essentially, but we could like push sideways a little bit, yeah, maybe from here to like here a little bit sideways, or even down here. But somewhere in this area, we will scan the market for bullish reversal candles, and then it's most likely to push above this peak here at 71.75. So it could turn out to be something like this here even, yeah. What is a little bit less likely is like a full-on trend reversal, and this decision would have to be made here in the 64 area, where the less steep trend line meets. Of course, depending on where we come at the trend line, yeah. So maybe the angle is like much steeper, but do keep an eye out on this trend line somewhere here. And then if we bounce, we still continue higher, but at a more sustainable pace. And if we break lower, then we would actually on the daily chart have a real correction ongoing. So isn't this interesting to see how the lower level charts are actually giving us like the earliest possible signals on what might happen on the daily chart? So with just a tiny few euro swings, or even cents, yeah, we can already get an assessment of where we end up here. Are we taking this path? Let me make this bigger. Are we taking this path, or are we taking this path? So all this will be, all this evidence will be available on the intraday chart this Monday 1st. That was all about EUAs.